On this channel before, I have already talked about changes that I would like to see for the collector, the bounty hunter, the trader, and also the moonshiner. Last week, I even asked you guys of what type of updates you would like to see for the collector, and these could have been new features, potential unlocks, or even something you wanted to get rid of. Today, we are going to be doing a similar thing, except this time we are going to be talking about the bounty hunter. I dropped this post on the community tab asking for your guys' opinions. It says, we've talked about changes you would like to see for the collector role in future updates. Now let's talk about what changes you would like to see with the bounty hunter. It could be new features, potential unlocks, or even something you want to get rid of. As always, thank you to everyone that did leave a comment on these posts. I really enjoyed doing these videos, and honestly I could not do them without you. And with this post there was nearly 100 comments, which is an insane number, and for obvious reasons I cannot include every single comment, but I have picked out a few comments to talk about in this video. The first comment comes from Jack Sparrow, and he has an insane amount of likes, so this just shows how many people want this. And there was also a lot of people talking about the exact same thing in other comments, and it says not having to wait till the last minute to turn in a bounty to get paid more. And this is something that a lot of people are asking for. Why is this the case? If you didn't know, within Red Dead Online, the longer it takes you to do a mission, the more money, gold, and XP you get. And in most cases, players haven't had a problem with this. Once we had stranger missions, and the longer it took you to do a stranger mission, the more money, gold, and XP you got, we just waited till the last 20 seconds and spent the time hunting. With dynamic events, we did the exact same thing. Players weren't too bothered. But with bounties, it just feels kinda weird. With a bounty, you expect there to be a set price. A set price for if you bring them in alive, and a set price for if you bring them in dead. After that, it should not matter. I remember doing a video last year, before the summer update was even released, where I looked at the bounty hunter picture, and I realized that there was some lettering on the poster itself, but it's faded and it's backwards. So I ended up flipping the image and realizing that you can get a bounty for $60, and I was hoping that this was the case. That is a set price for a specific type of bounty, but unfortunately that is not how the bounty hunter turned out. And it would be nice for Rockstar to update this so there would be a set price for specific bounties. So a tier 1 would only give you say $15, a tier 2 would be $25, and then say a tier 3 would be $35. The next comment comes from Ninjago, and he says maybe psychopath bounties that start when you come across a grisly crime scene, like that story mode side mission, where you come across a corpse strung up under the rail outside Valentine. And I think this is the dream for where the bounty hunter could lead. Some have even speculated that the very next role, the tier 2 to the bounty hunter, is going to be a lawman. And a lot of players are hoping that the lawman is not the exact same as the bounty hunter, where you just do the exact same thing, but instead the lawman will actually involve more gruesome crimes, something a lot like this. But whether we get something like this as part of the bounty hunter role or just a future role, I do not know, but I would definitely love to see it. Being able just to roam within free roam, and then all of a sudden find a corpse. You then investigate the crime scene, get clues, and then you are on your very way to finding the killer. On a similar sort of note, with the previous updates, you were able to get Lowry's revolver, and that involved you going onto GTA Online, completing a few clues, finding the serial killer within that game. As soon as you killed the serial killer, you can then use that revolver within GTA Online, and as soon as you kill a certain amount of people with that revolver, you can then go onto Red Dead Online, and then you can find Lowry's revolver within the game. And I would like to see more of that, except just for it to stick within this game. So instead of hopping between two different games, you stick to Red Dead Online, you find the clues, you find the serial killer, you kill the serial killer, and then you loot whatever he has. And then to finish it off, you get yourself a little reward. The next comment comes from Manic Mafioso, and he says more legendary bounties with a decent payout, like at least 1 gold bar and $100. Also, they could have escort missions where you help the police transfer the bounty to another jail, and also the outlaw would be a great addition. So yet again, this is another person looking for a bigger payout for the bounties, and he's more specifically talking about the legendary bounties. So earlier we talked about the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, but it also does move on to legendary bounties as well with a set price payout. But he's also thought of a new line of gameplay that could very well be interesting, and that is an escort mission within the game. And already there are quite a few escort missions within the game, and when reading this, originally I thought this to be a dynamic event, as there isn't anything too special for the bounty hunter when doing dynamic events. Players could be riding along, and then all of a sudden they'll get a notification, a blip on their minimap to say that there is someone in need that's taken a bounty to a certain location, but they have been ambushed. It's then your job to ride in, protect the bounty hunters, and then help escort them to the certain location. And finally, an outlaw role would definitely be something that I would like to see within this game. There has been many videos on this channel where I talk specifically about an outlaw role, and it doesn't necessarily need to be an outlaw where you can do everything itself, but it could be more specific in the types of outlaws you can get. I know all of us at some point would love to have heists within the game, but I still feel like there's quite a bit of a wait until we do finally get them. But what would be nice is just being able to rob a general store or just to hold up a train, and then you could very well have bounty hunters versus outlaws, and I think also that will dramatically change how the bounty hunter role plays. And then the final comment comes from Gambino Switchpot, and he says player bounties need to be fixed. Right now it's like they're not even in the game. The whole aspect of this bounty hunter role hasn't worked since day one, and the reason I picked this comment is because it definitely highlights a major problem within this role. And in fact there's also this problem that goes over to the trader and also the moonshiner. There are specific events within this game that only happen for those types of roles. For the bounty hunter, you can get a notification that tells you that there's a nearby player bounty, so this is someone else within the lobby that's playing the game that's got a very high bounty on their head, and as the bounty hunter you can lasso him, you can hog time, and then you can take him back to jail. But ever since the summer update has been released, I have never ever experienced this, and I play like 6-7 hours a day. At first I always tried being the person that found one of these player bounties, but I never ever came across one. After a couple months trying to find different player bounties and not being successful with it, I came to the conclusion that players just weren't building up a massive bounty for the game to send out a notification. So it was at that point that I then tried building up a massive bounty, and I then just carried on free roaming to see if it would send out a notification to other players, and then eventually other players would attack me. They'll try lassoing me up and then sending me back to jail, but nothing like that ever happened. So I just came to the conclusion that it was pointless trying because this game is completely broken, and unfortunately we cannot do player bounties. And it's the exact same thing for most of these events. There is a trader camp attack which I still have not had, and there is also a moonshine event where one of the moonshine buyers, these are people that you sell your moonshine to, will be captured and they will be in the back of a bounty hunting wagon, and it's your job to rescue them and take them back to a set location. And I've only ever had this dynamic event once, so it would be nice for the bounty hunter to finally be fixed with player bounties. As said, I've been playing this game 6-7 hours a day ever since the release of the summer update, and I still haven't experienced these, so it would be nice to finally experience these types of events within this game. But anyway guys, those are just a few suggestions of changes we would like to see with the bounty hunter. If you have any more suggestions, then let me know in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going, so see ya.